Hi and welcome to 2.3 Absolute Value from Course 1A Singapore Math. This is the content video. In this chapter, you have two things to understand. Write the absolute value of a number. First, so let's understand that how do we write an absolute value of a number? What is an absolute value for that matter? Absolute value is defined as the distance from zero on a number line. So let me write that down here for your reference. So absolute value is the distance from zero on a number line. You have studied about the number line in first two chapters, right? So what is the distance from zero? And remember that distance is always positive. You do not have negative distance, right? So now let's understand how does this work. We have a number line here. We have 0 here. Let's say 5 is here. And we have minus 5 here. What's the absolute value? To write absolute values, we use this symbol and we write the number inside this. So we say the absolute value of 5 is 5 and also the absolute value of minus 5 is also 5. Do you see that? Whether it's positive or negative number, the absolute value is always positive because absolute value is the distance. So you take this distance here, you take this distance here, and distance is always positive. So distance from 0. So you just have to write the positive number. That's it. But remember, putting the symbol is important to say that this is the absolute value and it's not the real value, because in this case, the real value is minus 5. Okay, so this is how absolute value is done. So first part of the chapter is done. Let's go to the next part, the second one. It says, use absolute values to interpret real world situations. So how do we use these absolute values in real world situations? So let's take an example to understand this. Let's say this is a building here. Okay, interesting drawing. Roof. This is the ground floor here at 0 meters. Okay, and the roof is, let's say, at 10 meters. Now let's say here we have second floor, which is at 2 meters. Okay, we have here minus 2, where your car is parked and it's at minus 2 meters. Let's say there's another parking here at minus 4 and there's a bus parked over there and it's at minus 4 meters. Okay, so now how do we use absolute value? So let's write down the absolute values here. So absolute value of 10 is 10, absolute value of 2 is 2, absolute value of minus 2 is also 2, and absolute value of minus 4 is 4, right? So if we talk in terms of distance, now here from 0, this distance is 4, this distance is 2, this is 2, right? So the distance of the car, which is 2, and the distance of the second floor, which is 2. So they are equidistant from 0. And this minus 4, the distance is 4. So this is further away compared to the car parking and compared to the second floor. Which one is the most further away? This 10. Absolute value over there. If you had further down here, like say for example minus 100, absolute value of that would be 100. So that's the further away. That's the biggest number, right? The distance of 100 is more from 0 compared to the distance of 10, 2, and 4. So this is how we use absolute values to see what is most further away from the reference. Like here in case that was 0 meters at the ground level. So this is how absolute values are used in real world situation. And this chapter is just about absolute values, comparing them, okay? So like here in this case, we compared absolute values, right? So we said, for example, 2, the second floor, and bus parking, which is at minus 4. So the absolute value will be 2 and this would be 4. So we say this is less, right? Because we are taking absolute value. If this were not absolute values, this would be written as 2 and this would be minus 4, right? So in that case, this would be larger. But how absolute value changes that inequality sign? Because we consider distance and distance is always positive. So this is it in this chapter. Clear? Very good. So let's meet soon in the independent practice video. Until then, keep watching, keep revising, keep learning. See you soon. Bye bye.